Liz, I got to direct this at you. So you had the president that tweeted today about the Fed's rate cut decision, but do you think that this latest fight that's going on with Baltimore, is that going to overshadow all of the positive economic success that we've seen in the markets thus far?
For the moment, yes. That's all anyone is talking about is Baltimore, Baltimore, Baltimore. But let's face it, this kind of eruption and these battles are a signature note of President Trump's time in the White House, and they pass. You know, a month from now, we're not going to be talking about Baltimore, and the strong economy will persist. I think we're going to continue to see some pretty good news. And let's face it, the conversation about Baltimore is also about the economy of Baltimore and the fact that that city, along with so many others, has not done well. And if President Trump wants to continue this, he should really point to the fact that liberal Democratic policies have hurt Baltimore and so many other cities and, you know, kept those cities from being healthy communities. So I think everything kind of evolves back to the same issue: jobs, incomes. Let's make America strong and prosperous.
Look,
there you go.
They called Reagan a racist. They called both Bushes a racist. They called McCain a racist when he ran for president. They called Romney a racist. So this word racist and racism, it has gotten so diluted at this point, it's crazy. But on the other side, it's definitely overshadowing everything, and it's crazy that he keeps tweeting this way. He is not the CEO of Trump Organization. He is the CEO of this country, and he's also the leader of the free world. And to get into these fights back and forth, it gets away from the things that are good. And just remember, the most unracist thing you can do, hold on, the most unracist thing you can do is that justice and prison reform that he did. That should be talked about also. I just wish he would get off it and be the president. I mean, really the president.
I kind of disagree with, well, I agree with Liz, but I disagree on the timeline. And sorry, Gary, I don't agree with you all. This is Trump, the president. This is what he does. He is being presidential for Trump. At this point, to ask him to change is lunacy.
Yeah, but he's shooting himself in the foot, Gary. That's the whole point. He's shooting himself in the foot.
Let me finish.
Jonathan, 1 sec.
Let me finish. This overshadowing? Absolutely not. Because 99.9% of the country doesn't live in Baltimore. And 99.9% of the voters that voted for Trump don't care. My gosh, he castigated, may he rest in peace, John McCain. That did nothing. And all along the line, he's behaved, let's face it, a little bit boorish on occasion. It doesn't matter. People care about three things. Do they have a job? Are they making money? And the value of their home. Those three things are very strong right now.
And the
rest of the voters that support Trump don't care.
And we're not talking about any of that, Gary. The president has a good story to tell. He's a story about American entrepreneurship.
But you know what? But Jonathan, he doesn't need to tell the story.
Guys, we're talking over each other.
Gary, that's the whole point.
He doesn't need to tell the story because people see it in their pocketbook.
You're saying, okay, you're saying, you know, Trump be Trump, but being a leader ultimately is bringing people together. It's not dividing them. I'm sorry, you wouldn't accept this type of behavior from the president of a high school, you know, class council, let alone the president. I just think he's shooting himself in the foot. He's got a great economic story to tell, but to Gary Kaltbaum's point, all we're talking about is really more inappropriate tweets.
If I could just pivot the conversation, you're talking about the economic successes. What about the Fed and the fact that the Fed, we're going to get possibly a quarter rate hike, a cut? What do you think that means for the markets, given that may not offset the trade war? And you have weakness in business investments that we received last Friday with the GDP numbers. That's kind of softening at the moment, so that's a concern. Do you feel like this cut, again, looming possibly this week, could this cut offset trade tariff wars that we've been seeing for quite some time?
I think what we're going to see, from the Fed is a sort of middle road where they're going to cut rates about 1/4 percentage point. And that basically is just sort of a signal that they are attentive to what's going on in Europe, what's going on in China. They want to prolong this expansion. I think the market will be okay with that. But I think what's much more important is there are signs that the reasons for the slowdown in the second quarter will turn around, and you're going to see better growth in the third and fourth quarters, particularly inventories. Inventories were drawn down.
What about manufacturing?
Well, but you have to have inventory accumulate. Right. You know, those two things go hand in hand. The point is, I think one thing we should kind of take note of is Jobs was the big selling point for the Trump campaign in 2016. But guess what? There are a lot of jobs out there. That has not got the resonance that it had 4 years ago. When in 2020, is hopefully it will not still have the resonance it had 4 years ago. That is to say, employment's great. What I think overshadows the economic story, guys, is the fact that the liberal media simply doesn't report on it. And case in point, incomes in the second quarter up 5.4%. Has anybody seen that number anywhere in the literature? No. Nobody's reporting on it because it's incredibly good news.
Liz, if we landed a man on the moon today, the liberal media would report it for 2 minutes and then call Trump a racist for the rest of the day.
Maybe so.
And we basically know that. But look, with the Fed, they don't know what the heck they're doing. They see the market down, they lower rates. That's all that's going on here. The fact is the market's done the job. You have the 10-year at 2%. They're not going to help the economy by lowering by 0.25%, but maybe help the markets. The Fed should be abolished decades ago. What they've done is enabled massive debt, massive deficits that are eventually going to destroy the economy. And you got both parties, including the Republicans, doing absolutely nothing about it.
Did you hear that? Republicans?
But yeah, I mean, that's exactly it. And ironically, during the campaign, the president often spoke out against the Fed. He talked about the Fed is actually creating bubbles by keeping those ultra-low interest rates for such a long period of time. And I'm with Gary. I think that's exactly what's going on. But we're seeing it worldwide, negative interest rates in Japan, all throughout Europe. And this is, in fact, is a negative harbinger for our economy moving forward.
Gary B., I want to just ask you a quick question, though. Liz talked about how the markets may see some positive growth going forward. But do you think that we're underestimating the fact that this ongoing trade war and possibly other trade wars, we haven't signed USMCA either, that this is going to weigh heavily in the medium to long term on equities and we could see further volatility?
I don't. I've always thought, Christina, that the trade war implications are overblown. And you're already seeing that. Companies are doing workarounds. They're, instead of importing directly from China, they're outsourcing to Vietnam and, South Korea and other places. Or to get around the tariffs, I've already read where importers are calling the manufacturer in China directly. Those people want to ship out goods, and they're negotiating and renegotiating the prices. Even if every tariff was collected, it's still minuscule based against our GDP. And I think you've already seen that. We've had tariffs in place, and yet the economy continues to grow. So I don't see that as a big deal. The bigger deal, I guess, as we've all implied on the panel, is what happens with the Fed. I think the market is juiced a little on the Fed cutting, getting that sugar high. But I do agree with Liz. I think we get through all that. I think the economy is actually going to be stronger than people think in the next 12 months.